Hangman is about a civilian consultant for the FBI in Houston, Texas, who is extraordinarily good at reading people, spotting clues, remembering things, but he also has a terrible secret, which is that by night he eats people. But it's okay. They're death row inmates, so they were going to die anyway. It's a moral puzzle wrapped up in a crime thriller, wrapped up in a love story, wrapped up in a horror novel. And I really hope people like it. I find psychopaths in fiction a little bit boring because they usually don't have a reason to do what they do, or they don't understand what they're doing is wrong, or if they do understand, they don't care. Timothy Blake is interesting because he knows that he's doing the wrong thing and he cares about it, but he just can't make himself stop. It's about addiction, but also about murderers. I love outrageous hypotheticals in fiction, and I was interested in the idea that maybe an immoral act could have no immoral consequences. I wanted to create the most evil, monstrous, awful person I possibly could and still get the reader on his side by having him do enough amazingly good things to outweigh the incredibly bad. I went to Houston, Texas and stayed with a former detective in the Houston PD and his wife, who used to be a 911 dispatch operator. I heard plenty of gruesome crime stories from them, some of which managed to work their way into the story, but I also went to the Texas Prison Museum and some other real-life prisons and interviewed guards and prisoners and things like that to make the story as authentic as I possibly could. And then I exaggerated it just a little bit to make it confronting. Early drafts of Hangman made the readers very uncomfortable. It wasn't just that it was gruesome, it was that it was monotonously gruesome. This new version has scenes which are funny, scenes which are sad, and hopefully still plenty of scenes that will make readers uncomfortable in an enjoyable way. After writing 20 books for kids, which are all high action, high excitement, adventure all the time, it was really nice to be able to make something which slowly winds up the thumb screws, making the action more and more intense, a gradual sort of crescendo. And it was inevitable that I'd probably end up writing for adults as well, because there are so many things that you're not allowed to put in a children's book. Now it's all spilled over into Hangman. I threw everything but the kitchen sink at this. At the moment, the Hangman TV series is still in pre-production. I'm hoping that it will exist and that it will exist on your television screens in 2019. And now you'll get to see the horror as well as just read it. A cannibal detective is redeemed by the love of a good woman. Or maybe boy meets girl, but boy eats people.